Great. Yay. Hello. Thank you so much for doing this recording. Would you please tell us a little about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So I am Becky Dawson. I'm an associate professor with joint appointments in a biology department and an interdisciplinary global health studies program at Allegheny College. So I live in northwestern Pennsylvania, and we have not had snow for a week, and it's now May.
Oh,
Fantastic. Wow. I know. So, but I'm an epidemiologist by training.
That's amazing. So I'm very excited. So, Becky, Dr. Becky, as you're known on TV, right?
Yes, I'm Dr.
TV,
Becky.
And your TV segments about epidemiology. So you are a member of our Elevate program. And so I want to ask a little bit about what motivated you to join? Why, what did you want to achieve when you decided to enroll in Elevate?
So I think it was a two-pronged reason. I think right away I thought that, okay, post-tenure, I knew that a lot of my colleagues who are a couple years ahead of me in the tenure schedule have struggled through the associate professor space. It's like being a middle child, right? Yeah. And I think I struggled through tenure, not getting through the process, but health-wise, saying no, trying to find my way. And I think that by the time I got tenure, I kind of had an idea of where I was going. So I was looking for support moving into my middle child role, right? And a group of people outside my institution. But on the flip side of it, I had a very clear direction of where I wanted to be, whether it be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years out. And I had absolutely no idea how to make that a reality. And I didn't see anyone on my campus thinking the same way I was, or even in a place to help me process kind of the creative space that I wanted to create. So that's when I reached out to you guys.
Yay! And I'm so glad you did, because it's just been lovely working with you and everyone in Elevate for the inaugural class. So. Great. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad. So in that, that middle child associate role, you're looking for guidance or how to meet your goals. What is the impact of feeling supported around that and knowing how to reach your goals?
Oh my gosh. And really, so I'll be really honest. I debated whether I wanted to do this year or wait until I was on sabbatical next year. Mm-hmm. And, I think it was Gina who convinced me that this was the right year. Don't wait. That was her advice. And from that moment on, I have felt empowered and also really affirmed in things that feel crazy sometimes and that I haven't seen people doing on my campus, or I felt like I've gotten burned and I've come back to the group and they're like, no, keep pushing on. So it has just been a miraculous, and the group, I feel like, are we halfway through now?
Yeah, we're halfway through.
Right. But the group is actually starting to gel and find community and, kind of build relationships that honestly are going to last after the 6 months of the program, which is super cool.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's kind of interesting how people are we're at the spot now that people are learning from each other. So when we have a group call, it's it's not, I don't need to talk. Everybody's just sharing experiences and finding the value in what other people are saying, that even though their goals might be totally different and kind of where they are professionally might be different, but people are hearing you and things are sparking, or they hear somebody else and things are sparking, which is really cool.
All right, the conversations are happening outside of that group meeting now too, which is really great.
Yeah, no, it's really, and I think that's an important part of thinking about how an individual person doing the program can then have impact outside of the program, even from an institutional perspective, even though some people's institutions are probably where did this person start getting all of this, confidence in asking for stuff? But
Constantly.
It's important. Okay, so far in the program, we've talked about finding your zone of genius. We've talked about creating a 5-year plan. We've talked about a lot of different things. What so far, I know we're only halfway through, has been kind of the most impactful for you?
I think it's recognizing where I am within all of those things. And I think that, you know, the big thing that we've been talking about, like the one-on-one coaching has been really helping me realize that like I'm at the place where I want to build capacity and like, what does that look like? And so I have really benefited from recognizing like there's this huge continuum that's this like big dark void of academia and like, what do I need to do to realize like my space of genius, but also like how I want to kind of continue to operate without like running out of steam or, you know, losing track of who I am. So recognizing that I'm in a capacity building phase has been really good for me, to give it, it has a name now. And like, there's something you can do when you know what you need to do. So that's been super helpful.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so in everything we've talked about, like, could you talk about like one thing that you're implementing that you've learned in the program so far?
Sure. Oh, there's so many. Um, so I think I have really set really strong boundaries. So like mapping out both my schedule for next academic year and, you know, really thinking about how I'm going to block my time has been really important. I think also I've learned, this is going to sound terrible, but kind of learned some shortcuts to be successful, like with email and social media and, you know, just getting back and forth with students and grading and all of that, because that's huge time sucks that don't produce a lot.
Right.
And so I've been really, there's just been lots of little like gems and nuggets of like really great information of how to save, you know, 5 minutes here or carve out this amount of time. And I think I said before we started recording, like having a group of people that really can help you say no and like really feel good about saying no has been huge for me.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that support and that, you know, yeah, that we're all
Absolutely.
doing this together. Yeah, that's
Yes.
great. Okay, so tell me a little bit about like the results that you've had since joining the program, because some big things you can talk, you can decide what you want to reveal or whatever, but there's been some like big movements. I mean, of course, also we're recording this the 1st of May 2020, and so the world of epidemiology is forefront in everyone's mind. But
Yes.
so during the program, maybe things that you might attribute to some of the help from the program, what has kind of like, what is a result that you could share with people of doing the program?
Well, I think so. I came in with a really clear plan, and I distinctly remember like it might have been just the second month, like so, or it was February, so it's the 1st month, right?
Yep.
Like, I mean, I was like, this is where I want to be, and like this is where I see the value and all of this, and I was a little bit like lack of confidence, and you know, but like knew that like I had a direction and I had a vision and I could do this. And I think what has been great about the program, even in the midst of all the crazy that the world is experiencing, but also as an epidemiologist, like that I have been experiencing, it has really helped me. Like every conversation, every lesson, every coaching call has helped me to recognize that like, regardless of where the world turns, because I mean, this year it's the pandemic, it could be another crisis in another year. Like this is who I am and this is my circle, right? And so like, I might have to change a little bit due to circumstances, but it doesn't change who I am and like what I am at the core. And so every lesson is like, who are you? What is your zone of genius? How does this work? And I think the wake up call for all of us is, and for me especially, like has been like, oh my gosh, the world can change at the drop of a hat, but that doesn't change who I am and some of the things that I want to accomplish. And so I think just kind of laser focus, but also flexibility, which is a weird dichotomy, but like I think that that's what we have to do in order to be successful in this moment and where we want to be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so now tell me a little, think back to Becky in January or February when you're deciding to join, and tell me like, what's a reason that you almost didn't join?
So to be honest, I was on an overload this past semester. I had an insane number of seniors who I was trying to get through to graduation. This is prior to going online, right? I was teaching an extra class. I had a large group of seniors. I had multiple, like, I had things that needed to get done. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for once a week, hour and a half, like phone calls, right? That, you know, if I'm going to invest, I want to be there. I don't want to watch the recording if I can't. So I was so worried about the time investment. Like I was almost paralyzed by it because the idea of carving out an hour and a half every week was overwhelming to me at the time.
Yeah. So time. Yeah. And I think that and what do you think now, like that you've been doing it for 3 months?
Okay. So for the 3 months, like literally after the first event, we went online. I was on the news. I'm averaging 10 media appearances a week. Like I have the number of like projects and requirements and not service, but like pandemic planning has just like skyrocketed. I prioritize the calls with Elevate above all else. Like I will shift things around for other things, right? Like I can handle that, but like I have come to need those calls, need the perspective, need to be regrounded in a way that I need nothing else right now. So it has been amazing how much like that has been energizing in the midst of so much chaos.
Well, that's really great to hear because I do like, I try to tell people that I try to say like, because people are worried. I mean, everybody who joins one of my programs is worried about time, like obviously,
Absolutely.
right? So, but I want to say like, you actually like you don't never create time, right? But you create time because it's important to you and you feel better and you're managing your time better. So it's like, it's worth it. But it's hard to see before you actually experience it.
Absolutely. I was so nervous. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do it. And like the calls, you know, are on Tuesday and I had office hours in the coffee shop on campus until noon. So literally like I'm logging on my laptop, running across campus, like hoping that I can log on between buildings, like catch the Wi-Fi, but which is crazy. And even now, like, I mean, when I know that calls are coming up, like I just turn my phone off. Right. And if someone needs to get in touch with me, they can wait for an hour and a half, but like, this is the time that I need to like prioritize me and the work that I want to accomplish, and recognizing that by doing that, the ripple effect to students, to the administration, to the community, to my research field benefits from me stepping away for an hour and a half every week.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. All right. So what's your favorite part of the program?
Oh, favorite part. I love the one-on-one calls. I think for me, I grew up as an athlete. I was a swimmer growing up, and my coaches are the nearest and dearest like people to me. And my graduate experience was not a coached experience. Like as an undergraduate, I really felt that. But like coming back and reconnecting in this coaching environment has been really, really important for me. And I don't know, I love the calls and the brainstorming, the thinking, and I love being told I need to go do something, right? Like your assignment this week is to write it all out, right? Like, and it hasn't been like overwhelming types of work, but like really to like put pen to paper and like get my everything here out. Having somebody coach you through that has been invaluable.
That's fantastic. It's my favorite part too. Like I don't like, we divide right now, I don't know what it will be like in the future, but right now we divide the one-on-one calls between me and Gina and Rocio, who are our two coaches. And like, we don't always get the same people either. Like it kind of, we do like round robin a little bit. We did that on purpose because we wanted people to get different coaches. And it's so much fun, like to look on my calendar and say like, okay, I get to talk to Becky for an hour today. You know, it's really great for us too. Okay. So the last question is, who would you recommend Elevate for and why?
I would recommend it for, I mean, honestly, I think we all need this type of program. I can't imagine a situation where somebody would say, I'm through tenure and I've got it all figured out and that I can do this on my own. Like there's no world, especially like in this moment, where that actually makes sense. I think that we are all recognizing that change comes through coalitions. Change comes through coalitions. We do better when we're listening to one another, when we're working together. And I think too, in order to find our best selves, like we do that through talking things through and being in a group where we can be vulnerable. I'm just like trying to like, I just can't imagine a world in which like this isn't like a place where you would be where like you couldn't benefit from this type of experience.
Great. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, no, this was good for me. I did it really so that I could process because like, yes, I needed a process. So
yeah.
as much for me as it is for you, to be honest.
Well, I really appreciate it. And it helps me, like, it really gives me like momentum and encouragement to like keep going and keep doing things. So,
excellent. Good.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. I'm stopping recording.